Hello! Every time. One of these days, either I'll figure it out or somebody will tell me that there's a cheat on OBS that lets you automatically turn the sound on. Ugh, drives me crazy. Anyway, hello friends, and welcome to A Date with Destiny. I'm Sarah Dernesk, aka Lady Destiny, hostess with the mostest, sorceress supreme of the Roguelike Rumbles, which is, if you don't know for some reason, our live D&D PvP Battle Royale show, where brave heroes come together and fight to be champion. And then, once a year at the end of our season, all the reigning champs come together and they fight it out to see who will be the champion of champions. So today's guest is Morgan, our current reigning champion of champions from season 3 of the Roguelike Rumbles. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I'll clap for you. Don't clap for yourself. Welcome. Well, you're my guinea pig and
Yes.
one of my favorite people in the world. For anyone who doesn't know how Morgan got roped into all this, let me tell you about our meet cute. So Morgan and I were friends on TikTok. I think we just kind of naturally found each other through like the cosplay and the D&D circles, as it were. And it was right around when I was getting this crazy little thing called the Roguelike Rumbles going. And I had done some casting and you applied. But I didn't call you for the first one because I was doing People Tetris and I had grand plans. But unfortunately one of our players got sick. And so and called me like 4 or 5 hours before the game and on show day, and I was like, oh god, who do I know that will automatically have a level 5 Dungeons and Dragons character ready to go, will be able to roll out a costume, and it's gonna absolutely just slip into this seamlessly when we're, one, doing a new thing that's never been done before, and they missed the informational orientation. And it was you! So yeah, I called Morgan up, and you were there for our first ever Roguelike Rumble.
Yeah. When we did the Champions Cup, there were a couple people there that were like, I was at your first one. They like they came to see me try to be champion of champions, and that was crazy. The other crazy part is I wasn't going to be available that day because I was in a show, I was in a musical, and that was supposed to be our last pep rehearsal before opening night. But two of our leads got COVID, and so we had to postpone our tech week and our opening night because of that, and that was the only reason I was available.
That's so crazy. I know you've told me that before, but it just is crazy, and every time I'm like, thank you to
It's
the
destiny.
Yeah, literally destiny. The hands of destiny were upon you, and got you to the Rumbles, and then 4 games later, 5 games later, got you the win.
You know, it's not how many times it takes you to win; it's that you win.
Yes, ultimately that you win. Um, Although if anybody out there is doing the math, I'm like, how did she win season 3 after like 4 games? It's because at first season we did like a fans favorite match in September. Our first season started in June, which is so weird now that we're in full year cycles.
I know.
So you played 2 games in the first year, which was very fun.
I did.
We'll talk more about the Rumbles later, though. I want to get to know you, which is kind of the point of this. We have in our community like 70 plus performers and DMs, and I just wanted to take more time for not only for me but for our audience and other people to get to know all of you better, because we're cycling in new people every game, we see you so little. So yeah, tell everybody and me about you. We'll pretend this is your bio on your dating profile, and tell me the basics.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm a Taurus sun. No, I'm Morgan. Most people know me as Attack on Morgan, as that's on my social media. My pronouns are she, they. And I am a actor, originally based in Los Angeles, but currently based in Canada as I am doing acting school over there, which is very cool. I'm a cosplayer. I'm a TTRPG performer and streamer, and I'm just like an all-around nerd. I love superheroes and D&D and romantasy books, and it's just everything about me just screams nerd. I'm wearing earrings that are the different condition rings that you can put. So one says sanctuary and one says petrified.
That's very cool. Did you have to pick which two you wanted, or are they exchangeable?
So I got them. My friend bought me a pair of dice, and the people that made the dice like included these as an extra. And I was like, well, all the D&D I play is theater of the mind. Like this isn't Critical Role Adventure 20. I don't got money for maps. And so I was like, I don't know what to do with these. And then I was like, I'm gonna give them the earrings. Because I'm never gonna use these like on a minifigure probably.
That's awesome though. Like if you wanted a side hustle, you could do that.
Don't give me ideas.
I mean, that's awesome. So you're going to school in Canada for acting. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, I've been acting since I was 4 years old when my mom put me in my very first acting class to get me out of the house. And I don't think either of my parents ever foresaw like how far it would go. I was 4. I've been doing theater since second grade, and then I have a bachelor's of arts degree in theater from the University of Nevada, Reno. And then I moved down to LA after I graduated, 6 months before the pandemic.
I forgot we were on like that same timeline. I only beat you by like 3 months.
Yeah, yeah. And then we got out of the pandemic, and the strikes happened.
A good time.
It's been a little tough, um, but I still continue to do mostly theater in LA. I just did the Hollywood Fringe Festival a few months back, which was a lot of fun.
A very good show. Went and saw it. Can review.
Thank you. It was so fun. I got to learn electric guitar for the part because we played music live. It was great. And then so the program I'm in, I'm trying to like not give a ton of details because this is on the internet.
That's why I was like, well, however much you want to talk about.
Yes. The program I'm in is a advanced diploma program. It's 6 months, and it's just more training. But they also help with like the professional side of things, which is the part that I struggle with because there's this weird thing. I feel like mostly in LA where people go, well, I had to figure out how to do this on my own, so you do too. And I'm like, or we could like share tips and all succeed together. Crazy thought. Because I'm very much like, if one of us succeeds, like we all kind of succeed, or like success can be measured in like various different ways. And like my biggest example is like Bianca Del Rio helped, I think, almost every contestant on Drag Race in her season, or like definitely she helped like Adore and a couple others, and she still won because you can still help people, and if you're like, oh well, it's gonna make it so that they're gonna be more successful than me. That just says more about you than it does anybody else.
Yeah, but also we're all, I don't know, giving a hand up to someone else, even if they eventually climb further up the ladder than you, it didn't push you down to help them. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
No, never. Like I love helping people. It's so great. So yeah, unfortunately, there are a lot of people out here that are just very like well guarded about like how to succeed in the industry. And we don't have a program like this in the States. So that's why I'm all the way in Canada doing that. It's been cool. My classmates have been asking me about my streaming games and my D&D and stuff because I talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like I know, but maybe I'm wrong. What is the majority though of your performance background? It's musical theater, yeah?
Yeah, a good chunk of it, because when you're a kid in like elementary, middle, and high school, it's mostly musicals that get put on like at schools. So my background is mostly in musical theater. And then when I got to college, that's when I started doing more like straight plays and things like that. And I still continue to do musicals. I think my last one I did was just a couple years ago. And I'm still like open to doing it because I do love them. But it's never been like my main focus. It's always just been like
The available outlet.
acting. Yeah, it's always just been I just because every time I go in for a musical audition, I go, okay, I can sing. I'm usually not super worried about that. And especially more so now because I've now had vocal training, so I'm a bit more confident in. And then I'm like dancing. I will give it my all, and I will smile, and I will put all of my energy into it.
Yeah.
And then the acting part, I'm never worried about because I'm always like, got it done. So I just love acting in general. So like TV, film, theater, musical theater, voice acting, TTRPGs.
Yeah. Well, so as a person though who hates film and TV acting, I do not enjoy it. Please give me an audience. Um, of the two, live performance versus like to tape on film, what do you prefer?
Mm-hmm. That's the, I so I'm inclined to say like theater and live audience just because that's mostly what I've done. I don't have as much experience in film and TV, and that's also part of the reason why I'm at this school. Like they're really helping me with that as well, which is nice because like they are different. Um, I keep getting told to like bring it down. And all of my teachers are like theater background, and I'm like, yeah, yeah. And a lot of them like were theater kids, so they're like, we get it, like same thing. Um, so I truly think there is nothing like having just a live kind of captive audience there and getting to like experience like what they're feeling and how you're affecting them like in real time. I did a show in college. It was six different comedy one acts, and I was in three of them. And one of them uh, is like making fun of language. It's about this gibberish language, and these two characters basically fall in love over the course of this one act, and they kiss at the end. And there was one night I remember where like when we started like confessing our love to each other and it was like reciprocated, like the audience was like awing and stuff and like super into it. And then when we kissed, like they just started like cheering so loud. So both me and my scene partner are like in the middle of this kiss, but we both like smiled into it because we were like, I can't believe this is happening right now. And it's things like that that are like so special and so fun. But I want to do more TV and film. I'm very interested to see like how I feel about that the more I get to do it, and sort of are there parts of it that I like more than live acting.
Yeah, it's funny because there's also there's a textural difference that I'm sure you're even more familiar with, which is the difference between traditional D&D TTRPG stream shows, even when you're live on Twitch, as we are, which by the way, hi to the couple of people watching. If you've got questions for Morgan, please feel free to ask. We are live and we will respond. But the difference between that kind of storytelling and then the very bombastic, almost purely combat with comedy role play that are what the Rumbles do with a live crowd in person at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you find yourself adapting in those kinds of performances?
Yeah, it's well, if I have an accent, I have to say it the whole time.
Okay.
Otherwise, the people in the audience will call me out for it, which I feel like is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I'm as somebody that's like an avid like Critical Role watcher, like they don't say what they're doing in combat in their character voice all the time. But that happened at my first Rumble, and I like learned. I was like, okay, I just have to do everything in the accent. That's fine. It's also like kind of picking up on sort of what the audience is like sort of looking for. And so because you'll like try things out, like if you're like if you make a joke about another player, and obviously like this is all in good fun, all in
Yeah.
good spirit. It's and if we're like making fun of each other, it's within this realm of like this is for a performance, like this is all make believe.
Yeah. It's WWE with magic. It's, it's the performance of I hate you.
Yes, exactly. And so it's noticing like, oh, if you make a joke where you're kind of ragging on the player and the audience really likes it, you're like, okay, and you kind of clock it. But you also want to make sure that's not what you're doing every single time you speak. Um, and it's very just kind of like gauging the crowd interest and being like, okay, what can I do? It's such like it's such a and it's such a tricky balance of like okay, how do I keep this audience engaged? How do I make sure that they're enjoying it and involved while also making sure that I'm like playing D&D correctly and I'm being like strategical about this.
Yeah. Trying not to get lost in the sauce. And I've got to imagine like, well, I guess my question then is, so if you're doing streaming shows, which are again more narrative, more story driven, and not necessarily as responsive to an audience, do you just find that part of the math kind of goes away, or are you always still a little bit thinking about the people that are going to watch you?
Ooh, that's so interesting. Honestly, like I will occasionally when I'm doing a stream game, like I'll have the Twitch chat like open, because I'm just curious as to like what people are kind of like saying in the chat or whatever. But I never really like see what people are saying in the chat and go, oh well, like I have to do this thing now that they're gonna like. It's very like, and the channel that I mostly play on, Tails Guild, it's very like we're all just friends playing a D&D campaign, and we're also like streaming it live to the internet, um, because we want to. So it's very like it's very, yes, we're streaming, but it still kind of has this like home game feel to it of like we're still just friends playing D&D together. And so in that terms, because there isn't a live audience, it's a bit easier to just be like, well, I'm gonna do this thing because this is what I want to do as a player, and also what I think my character would do. And there have been moments where we've been live, and there's a moment where like I was gonna do something that I didn't realize would make another player uncomfortable, and they like spoke up, and we got to like live like kind of have that conversation of like, oh, that crosses a boundary for you. Okay, cool. I won't do it. I'll do this instead. And I remember someone in the chat was like, this is so important to see like a healthy table. And I was like, oh, yeah. So I think it's cool with sort of like streamed games. Like, obviously, there's going to be like an air of professionalism and we are live on the internet, but I also think it's important to like remember that you're still friends playing D&D together, and sometimes like the things that happen that maybe like if this were not a live thing and it was an edited thing that would like maybe get edited out, maybe you want to keep those moments in, because I didn't realize that that would be like so like effective for people to kind of see like healthy communication at a healthy table.
Yeah. No, I think that was literally when you started describing that, I was like, I wonder how many games to tape like cut those conversations out, and then we go and we have all these conversations in, the actual play, and just the personal play spaces where we're like, oh, this kind of checking in with one another and boundary setting is so important. But if we never show it, if we keep that behind the curtain in the actual play space, then yeah, nobody is setting the model for how it should go.
Yeah, and safety tools are so important. I will not play at a table that does not use safety tools. And Thankfully, I've never had to like step away from a table because of that. Usually, if I get invited to play somewhere, and I haven't played with any of them before, and I'll be like, hey, I make it a point to make sure that I play at tables with safety tools. Could I have everybody do like the RPG consent form? And I've never been met with a no. It's usually with a yeah, absolutely, we can do that for sure. Yeah. So
we to peel back the curtain a little bit, we added safety checks to the Rumbles like 2 years ago. We were not doing it from the beginning, and then I thought about how many games I'm in where we do it, and I was like, oh god, we should add it. I just never really think about it because we don't do so much storytelling. But like combat stuff can cross lines. People get squicked out by certain types of gore, or like with themed battles, if particularly like the Halloween ones, certain spooky things can be triggers for people. And thankfully, it's not something that comes up as much for us, but we have it now, and I hope that has made our player pool feel better about participating. Because stuff still does happen with it being a live environment and being so high paced and high energy. I want to always make it as safe as possible for people to be in, because we're gonna have to make very quick in the moment decisions with less of those conversations available. But speaking of bringing safety checks to new tables, we do actually have a question from T Tempest. What future projects would you like to work on, personal or with other people? And I would say not just D&D or tabletop, but if you want to start there and then move on.
I mean, I want to do like I don't know what the term, like studio TTRPG is that, or actual play is that kind of the term where it's like an in-person in studio kind of situation. That's definitely like a bucket list item for sure. Of like, yeah, I don't get to play a lot in person, and I think anytime I see those, like the immersion is just like so crazy and in it, and it's like, oh, I want to do that. Obviously, like in the D&D TTRPG space, my biggest goal is to guest on Critical Role one day, which will happen. I'm manifesting this; it's gonna happen.
I love it.
Of course, and I just in general, like, I just want to play more. I wanna play more with my friends and people that I really admire in the space and like want to play with. I try to make it a point, like when I do any sort of like streamed. I was gonna say, like, when I GM, I've mostly been doing one shot. So when I do that, I will sometimes like reach out to people that I'm either friends with or like mutuals with, but like somebody that I really want to play with. I'll be like, hey, like, do you want to be a part of this? Because I just want to play with people. I just want to tell stories. Like, that's all. And it's the same with like acting. Of like, like, I want to be in a Marvel or a DC movie. Marvel cast me as Squirrel Girl. Challenge, please. I'd be perfect.
Okay.
I'd be literally perfect. And it's just I have like a list of directors like I would love to work with. Greta Gerwig is like big up on that list. But at the end of the day, it's in terms of like acting, because that's my career. I love doing TTRPGs, but it's not like my main career focus. It's definitely like led me in certain paths in my career that I wasn't expecting. And when I talk about it with my teachers at the school, they're always like, hey, like any avenue is like a good avenue, and anything can like lead you to places that you wouldn't expect. But at the end of the day, it's like I just want to tell stories and tell stories that need to be told, and be able to like support myself and the people that I care about doing that. And
the dream.
Yeah, that's like it's do I want to win an Oscar one day? Yeah, absolutely. But like my main goal is like I just want to do what I love and like be able to support myself and the people around me with it. That's like the main goal. That's like the I made it kind of situation.
So if that's the main goal, what is your primary like joy in acting? What part of acting do you generate the
Mhm.
most joy from?
Yeah, it's the way that you can like affect the people watching it. It's the way that like your acting and the story that you're telling and the way that you're doing things can like make people laugh and make people cry and make them feel like sadness and joy and nostalgia and anger and just like it's the fact that yeah that's what gets me about acting is like being able to make people feel things that they either like needed to feel or like didn't know that they needed to feel, um, or maybe that they're like maybe not the most comfortable with feeling it, but you know it's like cathartic. You know, I know that like when I watch something and it makes me cry, um, it's 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 like oh I kind of needed this like this was like necessary and I just think it's so cool that we can be you know telling a story and you know it's whether it's like a real or a made up story but it's the idea of that like you know, because actors we're playing make believe right like
Yes.
that's the whole actors and D&D players and TTRG players we're all just playing make believe and it's the fact that like you can play make believe and it can affect people on like such a level. Like I love it when because I feel that way when I like watch certain things or
I
like
was
there are
gonna
certain
ask,
actors.
is there a moment that you can pinpoint where you feel like not as a performer but as a watcher where something has touched you either in the tabletop streaming or other entertainment?
Oh, I constantly like I think the example I'll use it's a relatively recent one. Um, when I went and saw Superman in the theaters, which was, that's a perfect movie. That's a perfect movie. And I went with a bunch of my friends, and they had already seen it, and I hadn't. And for those of you unaware, in general, I'm a very big superhero person. I'm slightly more of a DC person because I grew up more with that. Um, but I've never been a huge Superman person. But I was very excited for this movie, and I walked out of that theater with so much like hope and joy in my heart. And like it's no secret, things are hard. Like the world is a fiery hellscape nightmare, to put it lightly. Um, and it to be able to kind of like walk out of a movie theater and just be like just like have this such this like feeling of like hope and joy and like faith in humanity because and this isn't a spoiler for anyone who's seen it they really drove home like Superman's humanity of like of like no like I am a human like I make mistakes and I fail and I get sad but I keep going and that's what it's all about and so it was just this kind of it was so nice to kind of feel that way and I wasn't expecting that movie to like have the effect on me that it did like I went in going oh I'm really excited for this movie I can't wait and I walked out being like I feel hopeful for the future.
Oh, 100%. I had a similar, but again, because my thing is theater, went and saw Huzzah the musical as a former Renaissance Festival worker, and like,
Yeah,
man, I need that show everywhere because the message it has about making art in times like these right now,
yeah,
I just weeping, weeping.
yeah.
It was beautiful. But let's talk lore. Tell me about Talia.
Oh, okay. Um, Talia is such a character that is so near and dear to my heart.
Oh, I should say before we establish this, for anyone that didn't catch earlier, Talia is the character that Morgan has,
Yes,
the only character you've played in the Rumbles so far,
yes,
which is
so far.
kind of rare. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Most people have turned over to second characters, but the character you've played and the current reigning champion of champions in the world of the roguelike
I
Rumbles.
have I have it right here. I have a little Talia shrine up there. So Talia is a human battlemaster fighter barbarian. And she originally started as a TikTok OC actually that I made, and then I played her in a campaign that treated both her and me very terribly. And that's all I'll say about that. But I love her so much. She is such a complicated, multifaceted character. She's one of my more like abrasive characters. I will say, the way I played her in the Rumbles, I toned down her abrasiveness just a bit. Like it's still Talia for sure, but if I played her like very true to character, she'd be in the corner telling everybody that came near her to fuck off, and like that's not the best character for that's not a character that people want to root for. It still like kind of blows my mind that so many people did root for her because she was very much kind of the heel of she came in being like, well, I'm the best fighter, obviously, so I'm going to win. I don't like any of you, so you're dead. And then I think the more she kept losing, the more people like cheered for her because they were like, come on, just one, just come on. And it's so funny because like it's I don't think whenever people lose in a rumble, it's never because like they're playing a bad character or they're like a bad player or whatever. It's just like it's that's just how it goes sometimes in D&D, especially in the rumble space because it is so different from like regular D&D, of course. And it's just the dice tell the story, and with the rumbles the audience help tell the story, and like sometimes it's not in your favor, or sometimes you go up against a GIF with a rifle, or a robot that can fly 70 feet in the air, and you're a melee fighter.
Well, there's a reason we have limited flight in Rumbles these days, but I think it was interesting though to like let her have a bit of a hero's journey. And you're in a kind of unique case in that you've been available for more of the like extra streams that we've done where we have been able to do more of the like storytelling. So then she got even more character development.
Yeah, that's been fun. Talia's backstory is one of my favorite ones that I have ever written. And one day I will play her again in like a full scale campaign, and she'll kind of get like the justice and the arc that she deserves. But I've been so fortunate to play her in the Rumbles, and like I trust you and everybody else in the Rumbles like so implicitly with her, and to bring her into a space and have her be like so loved and celebrated has just been like such a joy, and like means so much to me because like I love her so much and I think she's so great, and to have other people like agree with that as well, because like she can be like a very very abrasive character. I like playing abrasive characters. I love interparty conflict and tension. It's my favorite thing. But it's also important with abrasive characters to then still like have moments that show the audience, the players, and the characters, or that there's like more to this character than that. And I think we have seen that sort of in Talia in that kind of Rumble scenario. I mean, we've seen her like alliance with people, and we've seen her. There was that Rumble one shot where we went after one of Papillon's like enemies, and he was like, I have to do this thing, and she was like, okay, yeah, I don't like you, but I'll help you.
Like, I'll be there for you even if I can't stand you. I still will help.
And I feel like they, like, Talia and Papillon have, like, it's so funny because Papillon doesn't hate Talia. Talia's just like, you're annoying, I don't like you, but I think they've bridged a little bit.
Well, I guess we'll find out if you're able to tune in via Twitch, I guess, rather, as Papillon gets back in the ring.
I saw that and I was like, I'm so upset I can't be there. I'm just so upset.
I wish you
I
could
will
be.
try to tune in.
Yeah. As T Tempest rather, excuse me, has said, we love a redemption character here, and we do. And it's I don't know, it was one of the most satisfying things as like producer and DM to for at least a couple of your games. To have truly the between the dice, the audience, and just the random chance of fate, destiny, if you will,
Yeah.
to like get Talia probably one of the most complete story arcs that we've had in the Rumbles, because you came in the first game as an unexpected competitor, and then just lost, and then finally won a game, and then came into Champion of Champions, and ultimately that one truly came down to nothing but destiny. For anyone,
a literal coin flip.
Actually, for anyone who wasn't able to watch, it's still up on our YouTube. Feel free to go watch. But it got down to the two of you. Oh my god, I can't think of Kai's character name right now. Rivers, thank you. You and Rivers, and it was just the back and forth of it all. And one of the unfortunate things about being a live show is we have time constraints. And I was like, I just am gonna have to do this with a coin flip because we were out of time, and the two of you were just so neck and neck.
Well, like Vika put it really well. If it was two metapods attacking each other, because it was a blade singer wizard against a battle master fighter barbarian. You know what's crazy? I forgot for most of that fight about my superiority dive, because like I was having to balance so many things, and I got so many magic items, and there were just so many things going on. It slipped my mind a little bit. But then that was perfect, because then when it was just down to Rivers and I was like, I'm gonna hit you with my sword, I was like, okay, and if it hit, I went, cool, superiority dive, parry. And that just kept happening.
So good. It was just so good. But yeah, I love though that ultimately you came out on top and got the win, because it was just perfect. It was a story arc that somebody would have written, but it just happened.
The dice tell the story.
Yeah. So I guess I have two questions. One being, if you take Talia to a long form campaign, will you take her with the Rumbles background, or will you take the essence of the character and almost multiverse her, and in this universe it's slightly different?
Yeah, so the Talia for Rumbles is different from the Talia that I would typically play. So I would probably go back with the original, mostly because I want to see this very like guarded, untrusting kind of brick wall of a character with like very emotionally immature, kind of has anger issues. I want to see like that character like grow and change and develop, and like over the course of the campaign, but also with the help of the party, and see like how that affects her and changes her, and because my favorite thing when I play an abrasive character is I love the moment where it gets to the point where you can see that character start to like lower their walls, and it's like, oh, it's working, like we're getting there. And I'm very much a person of like, I don't, when I play with people, I don't tell them, I let everything kind of happen in campaign, and also like I'm very kind of slow with certain things. So like I like a build up to things. So I don't think I'd be doing a Rumble Talia, but I do think that eventually we would get to see like the personality of Rumble Talia kind of once she's sort of been affected by people and the world and sort of started to open up a bit more.
Love that. So again, you're probably one of the few season 1 people that like played their character for so long, because it took you so long to become a champion. Hey, it was great. It all worked the way it needed to. But that does then
Best
lead,
comeback in Los Asimas history.
it really was. But then, assuming you come back, you will have to be a new character. Have
Yeah.
you thought about, do you have a character on deck? What's the race? What's the class? What can you tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell all of you because I've had it in my head for a minute. I've told you, I've told a lot of people because it's so fun. I'd be playing a human bardlock who doesn't know they signed a warlock contract. So it's very like little southern girl came to big city Los Asimas to pursue her music career. And she got signed with a record label, and her record manager, AZ Modius, made her is telling her she has to compete in this rumble to promote her album, and she's like, "Oh, like that doesn't make a lot of sense, but he's my manager. He wouldn't steer me wrong, right? He did make me sign my contract in my own blood, but I know the music industry is just weird. It's just this character that I want it so that every time she opens her mouth, everyone goes, "Oh God, we have to help her. Oh no, oh honey."
I do think that's funny because like I don't know if you saw Bev's character, but she's a padlock, so paladin
Yeah.
warlock with I think Asmodeus as the
No,
uh
she had
oh
Mr. Mephistopheles.
yes.
Yes,
I feel like
yes.
somebody does have Asmodeus. I forget, but anyway, yeah, it's the same thing. So it's very much like the music world equivalent in Los Asimas. It's just all these freaking singer warlocks that keep
Yeah.
getting suckered in, but it's very
How you
funny.
make it in the business.
Hey, it's how you make it in the business, girl.
Yeah. I,
Yeah.
I just wanted to play a character that is so hyper different
Yeah.
from Talia. And obviously, when I come back and play this character, I'm not necessarily coming back to win. Not to be
Sorry, you're not.
on that.
Well, I was gonna name drop. Whatever. He's playing in the November Rumbles because he has two characters because he's always there to win. You're not Sean, is that?
No, I'm not. I'm also not Kavika. Either.
Well,
Um,
yeah. Firewall.
So, my incredible. Um, I obviously it's me. I'm not gonna not try. Of course I'm gonna try and put everything into it.
Yeah.
But the goal is I just enjoy doing the rumbles and I love Talia. She has had her time. I think it's time that we see a newcomer in the space played by me. And I think it'll be really fun to play such a wildly opposite character to Talia. And I'm very interested to see the audience that knows me at Talia to then come and see me play this character and just get a little bit of whiplash of whoa.
Who is this and why? And yeah, no, I love it. Well, as we are kind of winding down on our time together, I have, as all dating should, I have some prompts. We have prompts for you, but we're gonna do it D&D style. So if you can get out your D20 for me and roll it, and I will give you the prompt based off of what you roll.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to use the Talia dice.
I was gonna ask. I was like, which dice are you rolling?
Of course, the one that got me a nat 20 in the champions match. Ooh, that's a 19.
Ooh, okay. I think. Oh, I guess that we maybe haven't talked about this. We did talk about your childhood a little bit, but 19. The prompt is: as a child, I was really into. ...
Oh, I was really into the rainforest.
Why?
I did multiple school projects on the rainforest. That was my special interest. I think we learned about it when I was in elementary school, and I just and I still love it. There's an aquarium up in Canada where I am, and it's a really good one. They have an entire rainforest section, and you get to walk through. And they had so many poison dart frogs, which I love, and they had a big old anaconda. And I was there by myself, and I turned to a group of also adults next to me, and I went, and I pointed at the anaconda, and I was like, that they can swallow a entire human adult man, no problem. I was just info dumping to these strangers.
Did they enjoy the facts?
They did.
Okay, good.
They were like, whoa. Yeah, they were like, whoa, that's so cool. It is cool. I was like super into the rainforest. So I was like that kid where every time I went to the library, I was like checking out the books about the rainforest. I was really into Warrior Cats, that book series, as a child.
That one.
Oh man, so it's about cats
who are warriors, I'm guessing.
They're like a warrior tribe that like live in they're like wild cats, and they have like a whole hierarchy system, and there's like kind of magic involved, and like they like worship their ancestors and stuff, and they call humans two legs. And they have like their own names for like human things, and so it's about this house cat um, who is like, I don't want to be a house cat. Like this isn't for me, and like feels the call of the wild. So he like goes into the wild and ends up joining, and it's a long series. Like there's so many books, and there's like a spin-off series. And my friend in elementary school, my friends and I, at lunch, at recess, we had like a big grassy field, and then we had like a fence at the back of it, and there were all these trees in the back, and we would go to the way back, and we would like
play warrior cats.
We would play warrior cats, and we had storylines, and there was combat, and we had a healer, and really it should be no surprise how into D&D TTRPGs I am based on that.
I was gonna say, I should have asked earlier, like, when did D&D become a thing for you? Like, when did you even, like, know about it and or start playing?
So, I like knew of it. I actually did a session of it in college. I didn't enjoy it, like, a ton, for whatever reason. And then like I love Stranger Things, so of course I kind of knew about it from there and from hearing about it. And then shout out to one of my best friends, Lena. She came to visit me a couple months after I moved to LA, and we were in a game store, and she was like, "Hey, have you heard about this thing called Critical Role?" And I was like, "No, what's that?" And she was like, "Oh, it's a bunch of these voice actors, and they play a Dungeons and Dragons campaign." And some of those voice actors in that campaign are some of my favorite voice actors. And then the manager and one of the workers overheard her talking. And we're like, "Are you talking about Critical Role?" She was like, "Yeah." And they just immediately like went into a conversation and like talking about it. And this was when.
Sorry, I think we might have had an output timer on, but we are back now.
Oh, all good.
Sure did. The worst. The output timer is the bane of my existence, but I'll clip these together later.
Yeah. No, it's so fine. So yeah, I went home and I binged 100 episodes of Critical Role in a month. And every couple days I would go into this game store because I lived down the street from it, and I would talk to the people working there about it, and I'd be like, "Hey, this is where I'm at," and we would like discuss it, and that's like kind of how I like sort of got like my first kind of friends in LA. And I had just moved to LA, so like I didn't know anybody, I didn't have a job yet, and I was like applying and going out for auditions, but like I wasn't getting cast or booked in anything. And then watching Critical Role, I was like, well, I wanna play now. Like this is really cool. And so I found an in-person group and I started playing, and that was end of January, beginning of February 2020.
Wow.
And I don't think I would have made it through the pandemic if not for D&D. Because when the pandemic happened, my D&D group moved online, and then I found D&D TikTok, and then I started making D&D TikToks, and kind of found that community through there. And then I started playing. I was during the pandemic, I was in 4 separate campaigns, and they were all weekly because it was like we don't have anything else to do. And then I started doing like streamed games and getting invited to do things like this. And obviously it's now kind of gotten to this point where I do the rumbles, and I'm a founder of an actual play channel, and I'm a Crit Award nominated D&D player, which is still crazy. And I'm like so thankful for it because I truly like, it's crazy to think that there was a time like 5 years ago that I wasn't playing D&D TTRPGs. Like it's such a part of like me as a person. And I just finished watching Exandria Unlimited and I'm watching the wrap up and like Amy, it was her first time playing in it and she was like, oh, it's like a main part of my personality now. And I was like, no, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I think it's made me a better actor. It's definitely made me so much more comfortable with improv. I used to be terrified of it, and it still scares me a little bit for sure, but I definitely feel way more comfortable with it. And I've like expanded my accent range and like character voice range because of it, and now I get to use that like in my acting career as well. And also like the people that I've met, like you and so many of my other friends and people that I've gotten to play with, like I treasure them so deeply, and I don't know if I would have found them like without this, and I'm so thankful. And you know this, that I trust you like wholeheartedly with everything, and I adore you so much, and I'm so thankful to be a part of Pick Your Poison Productions and do the Rumbles and everything.
Well, I am likewise so grateful. Like, yeah, you know, we talked about it at the beginning, and just to bring it full circle, we'll say it again. Like, I can't say thank you enough, and like, I can't stop being appreciative of just knowing in that moment when I could have had this full panic of like, someone's not available, and we have 5 hours till game time, of just like being able to feel the immediate calm come over me of going, I know immediately someone I can call. And then for you to happenstance be available and then say yes, like it just settled all of my worries going into this crazy new endeavor. I was like, we got it. Morgan's gonna be awesome. So grateful that all worked out. But yeah, we're coming to the end of this. Thank you for being my first. Thank you for coming on this date with me.
However, I have to ask you, what were you into as a child?
Oh God, what wasn't I into as a child? I think everything, reading, Pokemon, like, you know, thinking about like you saying Warrior Cats, which I was like, oh God, I think generationally it just didn't exist when I was a kid. That's why I don't know about it. Because I am older than you. But no, like Pokemon 100%, like literally I had friends of mine who we had like little fake Pokeballs, and we'd literally run around the playground like throwing them at each other while someone is being a Pokemon and then you're the Pokemon trainer. Silly. I never played the game, but I had the cards. I just wanted to collect them and watch the TV show. I didn't really care about the mechanics of this game thing. Who cares about that? I just want to pretend I'm catching all the Pokemon.
I just want to play pretend.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want your math thing.
Math is not the best part of me.
No, it's not.
Who cares about math?
Oh, math is literally the worst part of it. Yeah. I'm like, what else? I mean, just deeply reading. I was just such a fucking nerd. Always had my nose in a book. And I think I just rather than hyper fixating on anything particular, I just kept taking in everything. You know what I mean? Like, I'd get little micro trends of interest, but nothing that really captured me the whole way through.
Were you like me and got in trouble for reading during class?
Oh, yeah. And also, I've walked into so many doors because I used to, like, literally nose in a book, like glass doors and stuff. A lot of...
I'd read under my desk because if I got, and I still am this way, if I get really into a book, it's so hard for me to put it down. So I'd be like subtly reading under my desk. I got in so much trouble.
You just gotta put it book in book. You gotta like put it over the textbook, and then you have textbook, and you're just turning pages. But also, I think I was really lucky. I had a lot of teachers that were like understandable. So much like, so long as you've gotten the work I've asked you to do done, and then you're reading, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, this was lovely though. Please tell everybody where they can find you, if when you have streams coming up,
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on all social media: Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky. It's all at Attack on Morgan. You can find me over on the Tales Guild channel. You can find me there every other Sunday. So obviously not this Sunday, but next Sunday, playing in the Astral Guardians campaign, which is a Spelljammer D&D campaign. I play my little guy, Saren, my little asteroid miner, who's now a sorcerer, doesn't know what to do with it. You can also find me on the Dice and Autism Twitch channel as a part of the New Raleigh campaign, where I play everyone's favorite resident sad girl, Zeldy. And starting in November, we will actually be coming back weekly. So that's Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Astro Guardians is Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's all I have lined up. I have other stuff in the works that I just can't announce yet. Yeah. So just keep an eye on my socials. But also, I'm also in school, so I'm
the fact that you're doing 2 campaigns while in school is crazy.
I more than that, because that's only the stream games I'm doing. I also play in some home games as well. Acting school gives you a lot of homework, and it's a lot of breaking down scripts and a lot of memorization.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it all, but you impress me, and I can't wait for whatever comes next. I can't wait to get you back at a table here with us, virtual or otherwise. But thank you for making time for this, and thank you everybody who watched our first ever. Sorry about the OBS split. I will join these streams up and make them clean, and we'll re-air tomorrow at 4 p.m. PST on both our Twitch and to our YouTube. So if you were happening to catch the last 30 seconds, this will re-air later. So yeah.
Make sure you follow Sarah. Make sure you follow Pick Your Poison Productions on everything. Make sure you come out to the next Rumble if you can, which is
4 weeks from now. No, 3 weeks. Where are we at? It's November 13th, Thursday. November 13th, 8 p.m. PST, live at the Roguelike Tavern and streaming to Twitch. It's gonna be weird, folks. If you watch Rumbles, we have 8 games in the normal year, and then we have a championship, and then we have just 1 extra month that we like to do an event at the bar, and the bar wants to have a show. So it's supposed to be just an exhibition match. It's always, every year, it is supposed to be the champions, the 4 champions who don't make the champions game, and every year scheduling happens because this is D&D. So this time we've got 2 players who were available from that pool of Season 3 champs, which are Sean and Kavika, and their characters, Harold and Mariposa. So they were going to be playing, and then I was like, man, the other 2 aren't available. Oh, but both of you also have Season 1 champs. Hang on. So I asked him, I was like, what if you guys play your Season 1 characters, and then we get 2 other people to play your Season 3 characters, and we put you on teams, and we make you fight.
It's incredible. It's so incredible.
I cannot wait. So we got Bev and Spencer popping in as the other 2 characters, which is such a weird ask to ask people to be like, can you come play somebody else's character? It's all just me with my Barbie dolls going, fight, fight.
Yeah, and then you make them kiss. It's gonna be great.
Maybe. For anyone if this doesn't sound enticing, let me tell you. I asked the 2 that I've already done a session 0 with, which were Kavika and Spencer. I was like, you guys should think of a team name. And they were like Furry Fury. And I was like, okay, that's an option. And then Kavika was like, you know what this is? It's Shirts versus Skins. So anyway, no promises about their level of dress or undress at the battle. As always, it's not a requirement of their contract, but God knows what will happen at a live show. So yeah, folks, come out for that if you enjoy Rumbles. But anyway, I adore you, Morgan. Thank you for making time for this.
I adore
you. And thanks again, anyone and everyone who tuned in, especially those of you that asked questions. And yeah, the intent is to do more of these. I would like to try and do 1 of these a month, because we have so many incredible players and dungeon masters that are a part of our crew. And I just want to talk to everybody and feature all of you more, because you all rock. So,
thanks
You're so welcome. I'm gonna roll credits now. Okay. Bye, everybody.